YouTube, what is going on? I'm Julian back with another video, and today's topic I want to talk about the most strategic way to purchase your home. So right now, I'm pretty sure if you're looking for a home, you're thinking about buying a home, you're seeing all this stuff on the media about like interest rates, and obviously interest rates are like not necessarily high because it's technically like a historic average, right? It's not extremely above what it could be, right? But or where it's at. But either way, what we're trying to look at is, my goal is to make sure that you're taken care of, right? And I don't want to give a lot of fluff. I'm going to try to get straight to the point because I don't want to make this video like 20 minutes long on how to purchase a home, because I believe that it's much more simple than that. Could be because I've done this for 3 years, right? So to me, it's a lot easier. But if you have a realtor by your side, then clearly, the journey's going to be a lot easier for you. Just trust me. There's no reason not to use a realtor. Of course, I would say maybe, interview them because you want to have the right person. You want to have somebody looking out for you. But if you're purchasing a house and that person is represented by a realtor, they're looking out for their people, not you. So keep that in mind. But really what I want to do is I just want to open up your eyes to the possibilities that there are and to the opportunities that you have in this type of market. And so let's just go through that real quick. So I got 3 different ways. Yes, I got my pen. I got my notes. I got to read it. But there's 3 different ways that we're going to go through this, right? Or 3 different possibilities. And so the first one I want to talk about is pre-owned homes. And with pre-owned homes, some of the things that you want to look out for really is, how long that the house has been on the market, the condition of the home, first of all. So make sure you go see the house. Don't offer on a house you haven't seen. At minimal, virtual showing with your agent, and make sure they're very detailed and they actually look for things that are wrong with the house, right? They're not just showing you the pretty side of it. But you want to see how long the house has been on the market. And so it starts there, right? If it's been on the market for at least 30 days, the seller, I'm pretty sure, is a little itchy to get it done, a little itchy to get it sold. Usually when somebody's selling, they got to move, unless it's a vacant remodeled home, then it could be an investor and they could be super stubborn and they can be leaving it there forever. But let's just say it's an occupied house, then there's, tons of opportunity there if it's been on the market for a while, because chances are they have to move, they want to downgrade or they want to upgrade, right? And they can't do that without the sale of the house. So you want to be able to negotiate your closing cost. And the reason why I say that is because you can't, what you can do is save your money out of pocket, what you have to pay to get into the home. But a lot of people do not know this, but you can use that money, those concessions that they're giving you, to buy down your rate. So a point, like 1% is a pretty big difference. I'll put it on the calculator real quick just to show you and kind of give you an idea of what you would save if you bought down your rate 1%. And it could just be, I think it was 140. So I'll show you the math, but it's 159. See, I'm glad I took notes. $159 difference from what I showed you. And with that, that's bills, that's your electricity bill. So if you're paying 159, imagine another 159 on top of that. But you can utilize that to not have to pay your closing costs to get into it. You can also utilize that to help you buy down your rate, which makes your monthly payments easier, and it kind of gives you, some relief. Of course, you can bring down the price. I've had a lot of luck in bringing down the price and getting concessions, and that's just how it is right now in the market. And there's also so much inventory that you can pick a home that you genuinely like, and not one that you have to get. So there's no reason to wait to the end of the market if you're looking for a house that you specifically want to be comfortable in and live in, because now is the time to get it, because you don't have to have $20,000 cash extra on top of what you have to already pay, which is your down payment and your closing cost. And that's if you don't get them negotiated, right? So I just want to make sure I got everything. But yeah, so days on the market, basically buy down your rate, bring down the price, and ask for closing costs. So that's for the pre-owned homes. So the next one is new construction houses. And there are some agents, and I do not understand why, that don't push their clients towards new construction when they have certain scenarios. And since I actually have a story that I could give about this, I'm going to give it real quick. So I had a phone call one day on one of my listings, and basically they were trying to purchase the house, right? They were qualified for $185,000, I believe, and the house that I had listed was at $200,000. So $15,000 below where we were at, right? Of course, if the house has been on the market for a long time, then maybe you can get that negotiated, right? But then they're probably not going to give you closing costs. So this is where a lot of these things come into play. And I told them, I said, well, you're qualified for 185. And what do you have saved? What do you have right now? And they had no money saved. They basically, their agent at the time was telling them, no, we can't go to new construction. They're not going to be able to do anything. They can't reduce their price. They can't help you, blah, 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 blah. Well, I told them, because this is the truth, right? This is the truth, that first of all, there are first-time assistance programs to help them with their down payment. And new construction builders have these programs. And these programs are from their lenders, right? And also, they're offering incentives to basically help you with your closing cost. So I had told her, I said, because I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, right? But the agent, in my opinion, wasn't really guiding them in the direction that they needed to be. And maybe they were a new agent, maybe they're a veteran. You got to interview your agent, like I said, because everybody has different, perspectives. But somebody who's really looking out for you, and like if you really want a home, like they're gonna find a way. And so I told her, I said, well, look, new construction properties will help you buy down your rate, first of all. And because they're buying down your rate, they're opening up your buying power. So because, like I did earlier, the math, if you buy down your rate 1%, that's an extra $159 in your pocket, right? But let's say you don't care to have another $159 in your pocket, but you do want to have another $10,000 in purchase power, right? So you're qualified at 185, and there's a brand new house, it might be a little bit further on the outskirts, because that's just how it is for some of these newer houses, right? But they're new. You get $10,000 more in buying power. So instead of $185,000, which, especially here in San Antonio, it's really hard to find something. Now you're at 195. And this is with new construction, right? I mean, you can do the same thing with pre-owned, but I'm explaining new construction. So I had explained that to her. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. It turned out that they decided to rent again. They decided to listen to their agent, which is okay. Not everybody's open to, what I have to tell them. I hope that you are, and you can take this into consideration, because I've seen this work and it helps a lot of people. But imagine you have no money to get a house right now. So you get a first-time assistance program, and you are qualified. Of course, you have to have credit, your background and everything, right? But let's just say you do get qualified for $185,000. But there's nothing for $185,000. If there's a new construction community that is willing to offer incentives to help you buy down your rate or cover your closing cost, and some are doing both, that's amazing, right? Then you can basically up your purchase price, maybe $15,000 more. Maybe you go from 185 to 200,000 because of how much they're going to buy your rate down. Maybe even 210, and you're still going to have the same monthly payment that you would have had for a $185,000 house, but for a $200,000 house or $215,000 house. I'm not saying that that's a fact, but I'm saying that that's what it's like when they buy down your rate. So you get something nicer, you get something new, nicer, new, I guess it's the same thing. And then not only that, but you also get warranty. You get warranty with a new house. So why wouldn't you want that? And typically it's a 1-2-10 warranty. So the first year they'll cover anything that goes wrong, anything, even if it's cosmetics. Usually the second year, for up to 2 years, it's electrical and plumbing. And then 10 years, it's structural, which is your foundation. So the second route for you to go, of course, would be new construction. So there's pre-owned, there's new construction, kind of the same, playing field with both, except new construction, in my opinion, especially with this type of market, like it's a no-brainer if you don't mind relocating somewhere that doesn't have to be exactly where the neighborhood you want, unless you get lucky and there's a new construction community in there. But let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. So they have their incentives, the closing cost, the buy down your rate, the warranty, and the down payment assistance program. So covered it there. Let's move to the next one. So the last one, it's USDA homes. And so with USDA homes, basically these are gonna be more like on the outskirts, somewhat similar to the new construction. And you will find new construction houses that are USDA homes. So if you can find, of course you have to talk to the lender or the builder, right? But assuming, you can get a USDA loan and still buy a pre-owned house. So if you do USDA, typically they cover your down payment and your closing cost. And that's from the lender themselves, right? So if the builder's offering $10,000 in incentives, then you have a USDA loan, then your USDA loan typically covers, your upfront costs, right? You might still have to pay something, everybody's situation is different. So maybe you have to bring $2,500 to the closing table, but compared to your typical 3.5% that you saw in my calculator, that's like $2,500 versus what, $8,700? It's way less, much more doable for a lot of people right now because of the way that things are. But USDA, basically everything is almost covered, right? Almost 100% financing, something similar to VA, except VA, I think they can still pay some closing costs, even though there's a requirement that they get a little bit covered. But if there's incentives on top of that with new construction, then you can buy down your rate, and now you have more buying power, or you have a much less monthly payment, and it makes life more comfortable for you. And it's easier for you to make your monthly payment because instead of $1,700, it's $1,500, and $200 makes a difference, right? And it's the same thing with pre-owned houses. So there are pre-owned houses that are USDA qualified. And those USDA qualified houses, yes, they're gonna be a little bit more on the outskirts. But like I said, if you're open to it, and the point of this is to be strategic, right? Like you wanna be making the correct moves. So you can do that, And of course, with everything going on, just a little touch, with the rates and how high they are, I understand it's scary. Included the chart in the beginning, you saw that it's somewhat average. The odds of everything going down anytime soon are really low. The odds of anything going down to 2.9 again, extremely low. Don't even wait, because you'll be waiting till the day you die. No offense. If you wait for those type of rates, unless we get another pandemic. But who's gonna be thinking about purchasing a house during a pandemic? Only the millionaires, if I'm being completely honest. Or people who are trying to become millionaires because they're thinking differently, or if they have to move, right? There's still motivated people even in this type of market that have to move and buy houses. But just like I said, keep it short and sweet. There's 3 different routes. Pre-owned, get those closing costs covered, buy down your rate, or if you're comfortable with your rate, keep it and just get your closing costs covered, and negotiate the price. Look at how many days the house has been in the market. Don't expect a house that has been on the market for 2 days to reduce the price. Be realistic. But if it's been there for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, there's really nice houses right now that have been on the market for 90 days. They're gonna negotiate. And if they don't, move on to the next one. There are some stubborn sellers out there, but you're gonna find something because there's a lot more inventory. And then second thing, once again, new construction, go with their incentives, get that warranty, get a new house. Nobody's lived there before. You're gonna be the first one. There are down payment assistance programs, and it's the same thing for pre-owned. You can do down payment assistance with pre-owned. Get your closing cost, get your rate bought down, and afford that house. So new construction and then USDA houses. Yes, you're on the outskirts, but it's almost 100% financing. And getting your rate bought down or your closing costs still applies. So the point of this video was strategic, right? So just teaching you, really just trying to teach you different ways and things that most people don't know. But if you guys enjoyed this video, I greatly appreciate you, especially if you made it this far. Please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any additional questions. Doesn't matter what state you're at. I want to help you. I want to make you become a homeowner. I personally believe that having a home is an asset and it's a great way to wealth, and I'm all for that. So at the end of the day, you guys got it. So I'll see you in the next video and talk to you soon.